All right, let's talk a little bit about those Chiefs. We mentioned the Chiefs. They went down 14 to nothing at one point in their game against the Raiders. It looked like all these struggles that we've seen from them, they were kind of coming to a head here, and then they outscored the Raiders 31-3 the rest of the way, and they kind of walked into an easy victory. And I guess, Curtis, the question is, I've been kind of raising some red flags, some alarm flags about these Chiefs for a while, even before last week. I mean, their most recent second half touchdown before today was in week 7 against the Chargers. They had been having some issues. This kind of feels like maybe it's a turning point. The offense turned around and everything looked a lot better than it had in the last few weeks.
Yeah, over the last couple of weeks, you had mentioned that there's some warning signs in their game, and I was like, well, they had a lot of drop passes. The first loss of the year, they had Kadarius Toney passed one to the Lions, which ended up as a pick six, and they're missing Kelsey. And then the last game went right through MVS's hands, and I was this will sort itself out. And then to start the way they did today, there was alarm bells going off. I just assumed they were gonna stroll into that game, and what did they end up? 31-3 was the ending after being down. I just assumed that's how the game was going to finish, was 31-3. So the fact they didn't show up to start that game, it's worrisome. And uh, Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback. The defense is still really good, but they did get gashed by a pretty uneasy to understand offense that was just running the ball right at them early on. So I don't know what to think about the Chiefs anymore. I still think they have the best player in the game. The tight end is really good when he's focused, and we'll see what happens. It's a lot closer in the AFC than I imagined it being.
And so you mentioned Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs has a big game here, 20 for 110 with one touchdown. He had a long of 53 yards. He had a 53-yard touchdown that actually gave them that 14 to nothing lead. And so, that kind of inflates the numbers just a little bit. Tucker, do you have any thoughts about the Chiefs here and kind of what we saw from them today?
Yeah, I mean, it was just good to see them score in the second half for the first time in a while. And this is a team that you go back to, some of their best moments in the playoffs. They fell behind 21 nothing, came back and won. They fell behind 28 nothing to the Texans, and Patrick Mahomes came back and won. And what they did today, Las Vegas has always kind of been a little bit of a thorn in their side. And Max Crosby was out there, which I'm still not sure how that happened. Yeah, I mean, to see the Chiefs and Travis Kelsey and Pacheco had a decent day. He got the touchdown in the second half. But I think for them, it's just a classic Andy Reid kind of game, Andy Reid kind of move, where he's had teams that have struggled. They look dead in the water mid-season. Then he finds a tweak or two. He figures out what needs to be fixed. And then by the end of the season, they're back in the conference championship game or contending for a Super Bowl. So, I mean, for me, it felt like a matter of when, not if, this team would kind of figure it out. And, maybe Travis Kelsey isn't the guy he's been for the last decade, but today proved like he still is a weapon at tight end in a league where there isn't really a whole lot of weapons at tight end.
I am interested to see kind of the route participation for Rashee Rice, because we did see him be heavily used in this game. He got 10 targets. He converted 8 for 107 and a touchdown, including that touchdown was a long catch and run. And that is what they need. They need one of their wide receivers to step up. It has been Rice. Rice has been the best one, but for whatever reason, they've been hesitant to really make him a full-time wide receiver. I wonder if we're going there. I am very interested to see kind of what the route numbers look like whenever we get those. So that would help a lot. And you brought up the point that Rich Rebar has made to me since I've been kind of concerned about this Chiefs offense is, yeah, we kind of see this a lot. And they figure it out because they have Patrick Mahomes and they have Andy Reid and they have Travis Kelsey. And as it turns out, when you have those three people, three of the best to ever do it at their position or job, then you're in pretty good shape.